Mm. Hey, it's my food. Don't mind me. Just eating some animal crackers in this next episode of Journal Time.
So sorry about that. We are just getting into this next episode of Needs versus Wants. And in that moment, Miss Ray apparently really needed some animal cookies. Here are the needs of this video for you. You need a glue stick, your coloring supplies, scissors, a pencil, and obviously your journal. And then we need to make sure that we pop over to the mailboxes if we haven't gotten these papers already to get our wants and needs sort and then our wants versus needs paper. Beautiful. In this video, we're going to be talking about the difference between wants versus needs. And so, as you saw in the beginning of the video, very rudely, Mr. A was eating some animal crackers. But if we look at the assortment that Mr. A here has, I don't think that everything here is necessarily a need, whereas some things are a want. Now, Mr. A might say that his Nutella is an absolute need in his life, but more or less is probably just a want, whereas frosted wheats and water are definitely some needs because those are healthy things that keep us going, whereas our sugary sweets and other things we're going to find are more of wants. So as I clear this area, we need to go ahead and trim out these pages and to look like we're going to go ahead and trim these out as one giant rectangle for right now. We're going to take a moment to color them, and then we're going to glue this page with your name and date at the top on page 25, and then we're going to take our wants versus needs page and glue it at the top of 26. So go ahead and take some time to glue both of these sheets in and add a little bit of color for them to look like. Awesome. All right, now that we've got these all colored, what we're going to do is we're going to cut them out individually and take some time to think about, are they wants, are they needs, and then we'll glue them in the box that they need to go. So if we look at the definitions here of a want versus a need, a want is something that you can live without, but it is nice to have and it makes you happy, whereas a need is something that you cannot live without. You must have it to stay alive and well. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our different items here. So first, if you'll find your air, and if we think, do I need it to survive? Yeah, I think so. We're going to put that on the need side. A phone, although some people would say that it's pretty much like their own artery to their heart, it's pretty much more of a want because we can find other ways to communicate to survive. Water, H2O, definitely a need as we cannot survive too long without it. TV, although again, some people would say that Netflix and chill is life. It is not necessarily life, and so it's a wanted in life. If we think about clothing is a very important need to survive because especially with the weather, we need to make sure that we are well suited. And a car for transportation, although it would be very difficult to get from place to place, we might necessarily that a car is more of a want as there are other ways of travel. If we think about healthy food and home, well, definitely shelter and healthy food are going to help us to stay alive. All right, now with our few more down here. Sweets, oh, I love me a good sprinkled donut, but unfortunately that is just a want. Pants, again, as a part of that clothing, definitely something that we will need to help us keep going. Video games, probably not so much. I think Fortnite can wait another fortnight. And gifts, although Christmas time is always around the corner, we probably don't necessarily need any gifts, just like a doll and toys and other things like that would be more of a want. And last but not least, shoes, although maybe not the most flashiest of shoes, we always do need something to help us keep our feet safe as we walk and travel lots of places. So when we think about the difference between wants and needs, again, just remembering a want is something that you can live without, although it is nice and to have and makes you happy, whereas a need is something you cannot live without. So go ahead and take some time to glue those in. You guys are doing great. All right, let's take our pencil and take a look over here at page 26. Take some time to answer these next questions. We'll compare answers, and then we'll get you on your merry way for your next official journal time. As we take a look at my list here, I want you to kind of compare it to your list. Do you notice that you also have more wants in this category than necessarily needs? Especially with Christmas always around the corner, it's easy to think of things that we really, really want, but do we necessarily need? Probably not. But when we think about the deserted island with no services and we're thinking about the things that we can take, I don't know about you, but all of mine were definitely needs in order to survive because I don't know how much a new iPhone or a nice pair of fancy shoes are really going to help me if I don't really need them. So focusing on the needs there is super important. And then thinking about the last few questions here, I think we can both agree that our second list has way more needs. And when everything is kind of taken away, one must just really focus on survival, which I think is why that list has lots more needs. And the biggest difference I feel between wanting and needing something is that wants will pass by, but needs must be met in order to live. So hopefully this journal time helped you to figure out a little bit more the big difference between wants versus needs. You guys are awesome possums.